And take your money. No or yes? Finish our conversation.
I feel Steven saying scrub.
What did she want her, baby? She's like now.
Okay, yeah, good idea.
I'd like to be like a doctor. Like I think I would have like money. Like giving up the big bad thing. So like that's
I know you would.
And take your money. No or yes? Finish our conversation.
I feel Steven saying scrub.
What did she want her, baby? She's like now.
Okay, yeah, good idea.
I'd like to be like a doctor. Like I think I would have like money. Like giving up the big bad thing. Where the president of the university, Abraham Chomsky, the brother of the linguist Noam Chomsky, spoke to the families of the victims, as well as the surviving members who head up the party earlier. On July 13, 2012, apparently the FBI commenced an investigation regarding the events surrounding the have focused their efforts on locating the host who had rented the party. Because everything is very, very tight.
And the footage ran out around, what was it? I mean, we have it clocked around maybe 3:30, 3:30, whatever. So the fire happened perhaps 2 hours after that. So there's a, you got your footage, and then people were going to sleep at that point or passing out. You don't have anything that was suspicious. No figures, no people that showed up late, inexplicably, nothing.
No. These kids were gonna be like the next big thing had this had gone according to plan. I mean, for the most part, they're getting exposure, but they're not getting the credit, that I think they are, that is, owed to them. If had they stayed alive, most of them, I guess, they would be reaping the benefits of what's going on right now.
That's true. That's true. In fact, that would be the ideal situation for them to enjoy the fruits of this. And
so that's why I said it, because you know what I'm saying. Because I mean, I don't know anybody that wouldn't want to be on camera. Even the most shy and ugly people in the world, they want to be on camera. Sure, we see them on TV all the time. You know what I'm saying? I don't see what the big deal was. There was no problem with them being filmed. People are filmed all the time at parties or whatever it is, and
Well, they have a right to their privacy. They have a right to their own lives.
Yeah, but you know, when
private.
you're at a party, there's nothing that's private.
Huh?
There is no privacy at parties.
Again, I think you may have a couple civil suits from some parents that may contradict that, but that's not my concern and that's not my jurisdiction. We will end with this. We want to have a follow-up interview with you. We want to set up. Until this phone dies on her end, we are still tracking that down. We haven't got premiering, which again turns my stomach sick. But what? It's 2 Thursdays from now. I mean, at 8 or something.
Okay. All right. Hey, tell what? No. I'm going to be done this, and I have to bring her phone up, and I'll bring the dog up too. Okay. You just go to bed if you want. I mean, whatever you want to do. All right. All right. Okay. Talladega. Okay, I need you to take a pen and pencil. All right, and do the following things for me. Okay. Mr. Brown's going to be calling me all morning, all right? I want you to put him off. I want you to tell him that my grandmama died, my mother died, my cousins, tell him the whole family is dead. Just give him whatever excuse. I'm at the hospital. The fact is that I can't talk to him right now. Now, I need you to go do some work and get that detective, that private eye fellow, because I need you to do some research, and we have to figure out from where those FedExes came. Okay, we got to track down that bar who sent me that email saying that he was the filmmaker. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, I need to get a meeting with him today because when I talk to Mr. Brown and he's going to be pissed off to high hell, I got to fix this and I got to speak to him right away. Do you understand that? Okay. Now, if you understand that, you understand the severity of this situation. Anyone that calls, you disavow all knowledge. We are not commenting, except to say that we had no knowledge of any impropriety associated with this production at all. We thought it was honest to God, awful truth. It was the straight scoop. That was the real lives. They had actually perished in those fires. That this was not some publicity, marketing, crazy ass Blair Witch kind of stunt. Hell, I ain't that sophisticated. It was all just happenstance and hoodwinkling and hoodwinking and the wool over my eyes and all that other shit. So just whatever you have to say, just we didn't do it. You know, that's all I can say to these people. We had no knowledge of this, and that's damn truth. You know that because you've been. How long you been with me now? What now? You've been with me 7 months? And so you've been with me since that. In fact, it was 2 weeks you've been working here that those packages started coming in here. Remember? Well, we didn't even look at them until the FBI boss got involved, and then when we did look at them, well, we saw the footage and then that went and sold it to Comcast, and next thing you know, the damn numbers went off through the roof. And apparently this is what happened. Turns out that one of the kids that died, this is a daddy who was a very powerful man. He was a South Carolina senator actually, and he got those FBI boys involved, and they did the tracking down and talking to everyone. They found out that now a couple people actually left the party that wasn't aware that they'd actually put too many bodies, Well, it turns out what they did was they took cadavers and they put them in there. They were the same age and racial composition. They put damn clothes on them and the whole 9 yards. And then they saw that fire. They actually watched the damn fire from the cover of the woods. But suffice it to say that the whole thing was a scam, sham, flim-flam to the man. And I don't know why they did it except made me sell some advertising on a television show, because I certainly know how to tell. I can sell a TV show. So I sold Snooki for MTV. You don't need no trick or device or gimmick, but I guess these boys and girls did. They thought they did. So anyway, it ain't no here nor there. But at this time, what we need to do is I need to speak with that filmmaker right away, because it looks like what I found out was these boys and girls are all alive, and they're in some island sitting there drinking pina coladas and enjoying the sun. And laughing all the way to the bank in the Cayman Islands, I guess, because it turns out not only are they getting the money from this TV show deal that I cut for them unknowingly, thinking that I was cutting it for the blind trust established for the families that were remaining, it turns out that they were controlling it the whole time. Even the charities were false. Everything was bullshit. Yeah, basically, I got my 10%, so, I was compensated, but the fact is that those millions and millions of dollars were flowing down to the south in one of these little Virgin Islands where they were all sitting there in a house together, where it turns out from my source that they had filmed all of that as well. So while it is a bit of a pickle we find ourselves in, if I do work the angles right, I do think that I can get a second season from NBC Universal Comcast. Yeah. So apparently they filmed everything that went down in those islands, and it was one of them girls that the girl that did she wasn't getting along with anybody during the actual party, and see the way this whole thing went down is. Besides the heat I was getting from the FBI, because they thought I was behind the whole damn thing. Of course, I had nothing to do with it. All I did was got the footage, and I looked at it, and then I tried to sell it to Comcast, and we made a deal. And that was a sell. I mean, I think I watched 4 minutes of that damn footage. I watched that trailer that they put together, and then I sold the damn thing to Robert Bryan, and that was it. I mean, literally, we went duck hunting, and I sold them while we were duck hunting. Turns out that right after the whole thing blew up, and it was getting really big in Europe, and was getting ready for this American debut. Well, there was something leaked to the press. It was a piece of footage, like an outtake, and it was all these kids at the party, and they were all talking different. And then at the end of this footage, they actually are talking about the word movie comes up, like they're actors or something. They actually talk about making a movie. So you put that next to all this footage, and you realize that these kids aren't graduating from no college. These kids are actors, professional actors. That's why I was so damn convincing. They got some talent, I'll admit, but, I guess they don't realize it's a felony to take it this far. I mean, fiction is one thing, and artistic license is another, but this thing, artistic license, they were speeding, and they were going 200 miles per hour, and then going into jail. I know about law, but maybe it's illegal. Damn, I don't even know. They got this Paranormal Activity, most powerful film ever made, and they want you to think it's real, and this whole reality is fake. Look, I ain't in it for that. I'm in it for the 10%. I just got one thing to say. There's a one silver lining to all this is I get a hold of that filmmaker, and I get him to sign for these next seasons. I get the season of them down and all the fractured relationships and strained reliances and survivor-like coincidences and all these things and dramas and conflicts that I'm sure that occurred with some probably very favorable lighting conditions in the southern hemisphere where I believe they're located right now. So we got a hold of that. And we also have an option for that third season, which I think would follow their trials, because obviously there's a mastermind. We just have to identify who the mastermind is. Well, obviously, one of the people that are involved. I mean, one of those actors must have been the director-producer, if you will. But I do think I do have a line on the man who I don't think was in the party, who actually controlled the cameras remotely from some type of studio and then did the editing, and he was the one that was sending them to me. I guess he knew I'd buy it. And he knew about my relationship with you. He knew we both came from the same parish in Louisiana, the whole damn thing. So I think these were set up, the whole thing, the whole 9 yards. And look, I got moving boxes surrounded me because I'm out of this town. I made enough money off this deal. I can go retire and just sit on the bayou and eat my crawfish, and I'm happy doing that. And I got my hounds, and I'll be fine. But I gotta set this right. And the way I set it right is this: I find that filmmaker. I found out what the hell he's doing, what he was thinking. And when I find that filmmaker and find out what the hell he was thinking, I find out if they were really trying to do something wrong here or if it just was something that just got out of control. I don't know yet, but all I know is, and I guess they don't really understand the lives and the business and the bottom line that they're going to affect. They also may not realize the millions and millions of dollars we're going to make from all this. But again, there may be some moral and legal issues that we may have to deal with that supersede the profitability perspective. So to summarize, we need to get a hold of that filmmaker. We need to control the press on this and to explain to them that we had no knowledge of this being fictional. We thought that these young boys and girls were dead, and in fact, that the whole effort we made to encapsulate the footage of the last party, the last hours of their young lives, was to give it a poetic justice, to try to find in a tragedy some source of happiness, and also for the surviving families who would be deprived of a youngster who would have been depleting the family of part of their income, because inevitably 80% of these graduates return home without a job and go back to their room that they've occupied since they were 2 years old. We saved them that expense and supplemented that with the income derived from the riots, exposure, and exploitation from the monetization of the amortization, from the terrestrialization of the dismiss. I ran out of battery.